Do you think Joe Burrow's ready to be the guy? There's all these. You have to say yes, obviously, because you're his coach. But what makes you think that this guy who had one massive year, a mic drop type year, where you win the national championship, you win the Heisman, now you're the number 1 overall pick, how will he be able to sustain that success in this incredibly hot run that he's on? What is his makeup that makes you think like this guy is going to be that guy in the NFL?
Yeah. I have to say yes, but I don't have to give a good answer, and I'm gonna go ahead and do that.
Bingo.
So, part of it is when I met him, it was 12 months ago. So it was really before he had come onto the scene. And all I can tell you is that almost every single thing that happened this year, he was expecting that to happen, and not in a cocky way, but he's like, listen, we got a team that can win the national championship, and if we do, my receivers, this coordinator, what we're doing on offense. Again, me and the guys around me just kind of watched everything that happened this year is all kind of stuff that he had talked about, and stuff that I believed could happen too. You start hearing about who Jamar Chase is and Justin Jefferson and the tight end and the running back. You start hearing about these guys, and he goes, people don't realize who we have on defense. This is a team that had 18 guys at the NFL Combine this year, which is a record. So they didn't just have Joe Burrow and a bunch of slappies. They had like the best team that LSU's had, and so for him to be able to have the confidence to see that happen and then go ahead and make sure that each week he continued to get better. But then when at the end of the season, when you have the playoffs and the Heisman and all the pressure and the media, for him to continue to get better, because people forget he got better. His best games were at the end, was when all the pressure and expectations and all that stuff, where that's what you play with Peyton. Like that's what those guys deal with. They deal with ridiculous expectations, unrealistic, what people are demanding from them, or it's unrealistic at times. And the great ones still deliver year in, year out when they're bad, when they lose their tackle, when the defense isn't very good, and they just kind of weather those storms and they put together great careers. And so Joe has all those pieces. The last thing I'll say is he took over a high school program that had never won, and they won. And then he took over LSU, and they did something that LSU's never done before. So when I start to see that happen over and over again, to me, that's a pattern. That's not a great season. That's not got lucky with good receivers. That is a pattern, and I think that's what the teams are going to look for him to do too.
I love his calm, cool demeanor. I saw him at the SEC Championship in warm-ups, actually, and it was before a lot of people were in the stadium. He was just in a T-shirt. He had some headphones on, and they had all across the stadium, they zoomed in on his face, and he just looked so, like, I don't want to say confident, but it did. It was like this calm, cool, biggest game he's ever played in the SEC Championship. The whole world is bearing down on him. You got Tim Tebow on the sideline. You got CBS on the sideline. You got Game Day. Everybody's there.
McAfee on the sideline.
I was in a suite. I was up in a suite.
Oh, you're in a suite.
Yeah, I was in a suite, but I was having a good time, but I was up in a suite, and it seemed like he didn't even have anything that rattled him. And then on national championship, I was actually standing less than 2 feet away from him doing warm-ups, and he had this same calm national championship game where you learn a lot about people in those massive moments. In warm-ups, you start seeing how they act in the locker room in those big games. Getting a chance to see just how calm he was something I was like, oh, this dude has got it, because that's what you have to have in that quarterback position. I think his arm is impressive. His hand's a little small, but everything else other than that, I think in between the ears he is that dude. I honestly believe that.
Yeah, it's almost like, and there's a couple of guys that have been around like this, but it's almost like he knows something that no one else knows.
Yeah, it was weird.
Like he knows it's going to go really well for him today. You know, everyone else is kind of wondering. The confidence is I don't think it's a hereditary thing. For me, it's the number one thing I train people on. But it's not a hereditary thing. You don't get it from your dad. It's not a God-given talent, I don't believe. I think it's a muscle. Just like a bicep, right? You got two of them right there staring me right in my phone. Look at those things.
You see these?
One
thunder
jack,
and lightning.
one hammer.
Don't get caught in a storm, pal.
But I think it's just like a regular muscle. It's something you can train and develop. And Joe's been around this for a long time. A lot of it did come natural for him, but I think it was a series of events that led to him to have this foundation of confidence. But then when you get to do what he just did,
yeah,
and you go into the NFL, I think he's going in as confident, however you rank this, probably as confident as any quarterback has. I genuinely believe that he respects the game. He respects how difficult it's going to be. But I don't think in his heart of hearts he really thinks that this is going to be that big of a deal. And that's what you want when you take somebody number one overall. Yeah, they got to get better. You got to teach them the things. They got to play. They got to get experience. But what you don't want to have to do is build up some young guy's confidence and convince him that he's good enough to play. And certain players have been picked in the last few years in the first round, and that is a thing that teams either needed to do and did, or needed to do and didn't do. And that is the common denominator for busts in the NFL draft.